Yo, this is the Queen Azizah Nubia, and thank you for hitting the play button. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. So today, I get messages all the time from people wanting to know, like, how do I apply? Like, how do I use my crystals? How do you use the cards? Like, how do you use this on a practical day-to-day? Because it's a lot of people that jump into spirituality so they can make money, but they don't really just apply the process every day. So in this video today, I'm just going to walk you guys through a typical morning when I have time to nourish and apply spiritual maintenance with some of the tools you'll find here in the Natural Woman Shop. So stay tuned. Alright, so what you guys basically saw was a very fast, because I hit the fast forward button, typical morning when I like to call it church. Seriously, that's my typical church morning when I am feeding my spirit, where I am applying spiritual maintenance, where I am, feeding the engine that keeps me going, right? And so typically, like you saw, I meditate, I do a lot of deep breathing, I make sure I utilize my incense. The incense are really great because they help raise the frequency as far as the scents and the herbs that are in the incense. The incense that I used today, or have been using, is my favorite, and this is Positive Vibes incense. We carry this in the Natural Woman Shop, but I love this smell. Like, literally, the smell of this incense raises your vibration and just makes you feel really, really good. So I utilize the incense. I utilize my sage, making sure I'm saging the space. I was reciting prayers in my mind, asking my angels and my ancestors and my guides to come into this healing space that I'm creating for myself. I took a moment and I fine-tuned my chakras with my singing bowl. In addition to beefing up my immune system as well, because the singing bowl helps you to strengthen up your immune system. I also was working with two crystals. They're right here, my moonstone and my rose quartz. Those are the crystals that called out to me today. So I took the time to hold each one of the crystals in my hand, do some deep breathing with them, just feel the energy of the crystals. And then when you guys saw me put my thumb and put the crystals in my hand and twirling it around, I normally do that when I have a quartz crystal wand, and I'll take the wand and I'll like activate and amplify the energy into my being, but I didn't have my I didn't have my clear quartz, and so I use my thumb. Because at the end of the day, y'all, these are just tools. You hold the magic. So your thumb, your fingers, your hand, these are wands too that can direct energy as well. So just a little side note for those of you who are wondering what I was doing. Again, you saw me use my aura spray, and I did deep breathing exercises. And that's just a typical, me taking the time to nurture my spirit, to have some alone time with myself. I also, every time I get the chance to, I always do card readings for myself. Today I use my angel and ancestor oracle cards for a message from spirit, and the two cards that I received, I wonder if I still have them here, were the guardian angel card, and I was going to pick out one. I was just going to pick out one card, but two popped out. So the guardian angel card popped out and the magic guardian card popped out. And that's just basically, this magic guardian card was telling me to never forget that the power lies within me. That I have all the power that I'm seeking. I have everything that I'm looking for out of life, it's all within me, and I don't have to search outside of myself for it. All I have to do is take the time to tap in to claim it and use it. And then the guardian angel card was a reminder card to tell me that I'm never alone, that my angels and my ancestors are always with me, watching over me and helping me in my healing process and on my journey. And those are some amazing reminders for me. And I'm glad I pulled those cards for the day. Oh, again, and I think when I started off, you guys, I always start off, anytime I do any type of spiritual work, anytime I do readings, when I take baths, when I take showers, I always use Florida water, because it's a very, very powerful spiritual water. Okay, it's very powerful, and I like to use this before I do any type of ritual or personal ceremony. I like to use the Florida water because it just really helps put this protection layer out there. And it helps strengthen the frequency. Also add it to my bath water, and all of that good stuff. So let's talk about why these things are important. And I always have to remind people of this. You know, I don't get to do this every morning, so don't get that twisted. Don't think, you know, every morning I wake up and I can meditate and I can, you know, work on my crystals and things of that nature. It's not every morning because I'm a mother. I work. I have my own business. And sometimes I just want to stay in the bed or lazy. I'm doing my own stuff. So it's not every day that I take the time to do spiritual maintenance. But I do make sure I at least take the time to do it at least 2 to 3 times a week, if not more, but at the least that amount of time, because that feeds my spirit. You know, a lot of us are going through life feeling worn out, feeling beat, feeling hopeless, lack of passion, lack of drive. And that's because you do not feed the engine that keeps you going. You think the engine that keeps you going is you feeding your body and giving you energy, but that essence, that feeling of life that we are all searching for, that comes from within us. That comes from within our spirit. So just as we have to feed our body, we have to make sure that we're constantly feeding our spirit. Some people do that by going to church. You know, you hear the good word and it makes you feel good and it gives you life. Some people who do not go to church, you take these times to do these rituals to help do the same thing. And it's so important because it helps build up your immune system. It helps build up your protection layer, because I always tell people, do not forget that we are in a spiritual warfare. The war isn't going to be with tanks and guns and bombs. It is coming after our spirits. It's coming after our immune systems. It's coming after our souls. And so we got to make sure that we are powered up. We have to make sure that we are protected and armed at all times, no matter what your religious belief is. And feeding the spirit, maintaining spiritual maintenance is important. So another thing that you saw me do with my morning routine is burning ancestor money. I burned 3 bills of ancestor money, 2 bills for my ancestors, 1 for me. I always occasionally will burn ancestor money for myself to, you know, build up my spiritual bank account, as well as to help me with alleviating debt here in the physical. And then, of course, feeding my ancestors this ancestor money. But overall, making sure that you adopt a daily, if not weekly, even if it's 1 time a week, time to nurture your spirit. The video you saw me just do was just something very fast because I had fast forwarded, but it literally took me about 30 minutes in that process. And 9 times out of 10, it probably would have taken me longer because I do like to sit down after I do all of that and just meditate a little longer. I add a yoga routine to get some stretching in, to move my body, because it is worship. You know, this is spiritual worship. So I honor every ounce of my being. And it makes me feel good. It gives me that drive. It gives me that ambition. It gives me that spark of life that I don't want to lose until my time is up here. And so I highly suggest that everybody take the time, adopt a spiritual routine where you can feed your spirit. And there's so many different things that you can do. Not just this. This is just my routine of what I like to do. There's basic. You know, sometimes depending on what I'm going through, I have to do some things deeper. this stuff is different from doing rituals when I'm trying to manifest certain things. But this is just my typical daily spiritual maintenance, spiritual activation, to feed my spirit. You know, it's so important that we understand that feeding the spirit means everything, because when you can feed your spirit, you feed your immune system, you feed your body, you feed your mind. It affects everything outside of you. It changes your whole perception of life. It makes you feel grounded. It makes you feel connected, and it helps you to be in that space of remembering who you are and why you were here. And it also facilitates um the it also facilitates your higher self being able to come into this physical reality to, you know, apply that potential we all know we have, applying that to our day to day. So that's basically it. Thank you all for checking out this video. If you haven't already, make sure you download that Natural Woman Magazine app. Check out the Natural Woman shop and make sure you get the My Vibe spiritual line. This is my baby. I've never created a spiritual line. It's something that I always wanted to do. I will be adding more items to this specific line, but this is what we're starting out with, and this is the Aura Spray, which smells amazing. Like, I just be spraying. Like, I'm telling y'all, when y'all buy this and spray this, y'all gonna be like, Azizah, you was not playing. Like, y'all gonna be like, Azizah, you was not playing. This shit's, I'm sorry, this stuff is a miracle in a bottle. It smells so good, and it makes you feel so good. The detox bath, powerful, powerful, powerful. The yoni steam, and then the sage kit, where you got pretty much all the sages that you need. And this will last you a good at least 3-4 months, depending on how much sage you burn. So that's about it. Thank you guys for checking out this video. Make sure you support, make sure you like and share and subscribe so you can get the notification the next time I do a video. But until next time.